can, I'd like us to go to 1 Samuel chapter 18. We're just going to read the 14th verse for brevity's sake. But we're going to find our points, our 3 points, Bishop James. We're going to get them from earlier up. But just for brevity's sake, we're going to read just verse 14. Anybody excited to hear from God? Now, you know you can never preach to youth and the parents don't get something out of it. So even though it's Youth Sunday, but we all gonna get blessed up in here, aren't we? Amen, amen. Y'all gonna help me preach? Yes, sir. 1 Samuel 18, 14. I'm in the New International Version. I just want to read this one verse. It says this: in everything he did, he had great success because the Lord was with him. I want to read that one more time. Under the anointing. In everything he did, he had great success because the Lord was with him. For a few moments this morning, brothers and sisters, I'm going to preach from the title, God Keeps Me Winning. God keeps me winning. When you sing that song, all I do is win, you better know it's because of God. God keeps me winning. Watchman Nee, a 20th century Christian leader, had a 30-year ministry over at China around the time when they were first planting local churches, and he ended up getting arrested and false accusations, being persecuted, and he eventually died in prison. And he wrote many works. But one of the things that he said was, long-lasting victory can never be separated from a long-lasting stand on the foundation of the cross. I'm going to say this again. Long-lasting victory can never be separated from a long-lasting stand on the foundation of the cross. Now, brothers and sisters, while it's easy for us to quickly remember how many times we came out standing after the battle, and even as I said that all of us can think about how many battles that we've gone through, in life in general, not just graduating, in our kids, in our health, in our finances, on our jobs. As we consider all of the battles that we came out standing, we can never forget who is the one that allowed us to stand. Amen. You didn't just make it because you had a good mind. You didn't make it just because you had a good strategy. You didn't make it just because you and your boo did what you have to do to raise the kids. No, the only reason why you came out standing is because you were standing on the cross. Amen. Brothers and sisters, we got to recognize that the victory on the cross is victory for us. One of the songs that I love when we say, oh, nobody like you, Lord. And when we sing songs like victory belongs to Jesus, we got to flip that around and say victory belongs to us. Because if Jesus got up from the grave and all of us died and went with him, then we also have victory with him. So victory doesn't just belong to Jesus, but victory belongs to us. And because I recognize that and you recognize that, no matter what we face, anytime we come out standing on our faith, we got to realize I'm standing on the foundation of the cross of Jesus Christ and its power and the effectiveness of it in my life. So, brothers and sisters, it's in our text that David comes to us as a man of victory. David comes to us as a man who is a winner. Yeah, he's a winner. Anytime somebody comes to anoint the next king and they move past all your older brothers and get to you, and you weren't even there to be anointed, you were just out there tending sheep, doing what you do, yeah, you come out a winner. Anytime that you're watching the sheep and you find that the lion and bear come to get you, and I don't even know if he had practiced beating up lion and bears, but he killed both of them, yeah, you come out a winner. Anytime your only practice to defeat an over 10-foot giant with all of his armor was the fact that you defeated a lion and a bear, you're always coming out victorious and a winner. No matter what, brothers and sisters, his lasting victories were associated with his lasting stand on the foundation of God. His lasting victories were associated with his lasting stand on the foundation of God. Just how I know. In 1 Samuel 17:37, It said that the Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of the Philistine. He didn't say because of my tactics. He didn't say because I'm a man of war. He didn't say because I know how to make it do what it do. He said because of the Lord that rescued me from the lion and the bear, I'm going to take out this giant as well. And then we also know that in 1 Samuel 13:14, it says that the Lord sought him out. Yes. David, a man after God's own heart. Yes, we know David to be a man of victory. We know David to be a man of war, but David had all that victory because God kept him winning. Yes. David recognized who the source of victory was in his life, and because he stood on that, he won. And brothers and sisters in the rooms, graduates at every level, because there may be graduates here that aren't children, but everyone in the room, you need to recognize who the source is of your victory and know that you can always win when you stand on the foundation, which is Jesus. Amen. Now, the reason why I'm preaching this is because, like David, you all have had many private and public victories. And today we're here to celebrate that one meaningful victory, that powerful victory, is the fact that you've graduated, that you're about to go to another level. You've conquered it. You literally took the head off that giant. You took your little academic slingshot, you hit and you got it. The giant has been slain. But I want you to realize that this is just one of many graduations for you. One of many graduations, many levels for you. You're going to graduate in your relationships. Some of the friends you have right now ain't going to be your friends about 5-10 years from now. As a matter of fact, when you get down the road and you start being successful and you look back and see them on Facebook, you're going to thank God that they ain't your friends anymore. Can I get a witness over here? Facebook is a good tool to let you see just how blessed you really are. Yeah, that boo that you like so much, like I'll see you at the end of the summer 10 years from now. You're like, I'm glad that wasn't my boo. Yeah, I love the ministry of Facebook. It'll bless you. It gives you vision in a snapshot. It's like it's prophetic. Sometimes it's pathetic, but it's all of that. Yeah, but you're going to graduate. You don't just graduate academically. You're going to graduate in your relationships. You're going to graduate spiritually. The goal is that you're going to graduate spiritually. You're going to be better. What you said about your son and others, there's some preachers in here. They're going to be some evangelists come out of here. Or even if you have no title, they're going to be those that just want to serve the Lord harder. Can I just say that and give you all a round of applause? Because of the foundation that they learned from being in this church under the word of God, from the man and woman of God. And you parents that brought your kids to church, even if they were screaming and fighting, you said you're going to go anyway because you're going to learn about the Lord. There are more graduations, brothers and sisters. You're going to graduate professionally. You're going to graduate academically. There's more to conquer and there are higher levels to go. And I want you to never forget who got you here. The reason why you've won up until this point, and the reason why you're going to continue to win, and you're going to say this sermon title, you say, God keeps me winning. And I want you to say it with swag, pop the collar, be like, yo, son, God keeps me winning. I know you think I'm fresh, but God keeps me winning. I know you like my mom, but God keeps me winning. You females out there, you ain't got to show all your body parts. Look, let guys have to win and say, look, God keeps me winning. I ain't got to show you all that. You ain't got to see a little leg. You ain't got to take selfies like this or that. No. Show your face. Say, God keeps me winning. Preach good at Pastor Elvis. I think I will. That's good preaching. Can I give you 3 points? I know you called me apostle. I'm using the bishop towel today. I just wanted y'all to take note of that. God keeps me winning. Well, how's God going to keep you winning? Y'all ready? 3 points real quick. I'm going to alliterate. Notice the P's and the E's in my alliteration, okay? God's going to keep you winning by, number one, positioning you in the right environment. Now, I told you we're going to get our points from further up in the chapter. Verse 1-4 says, after David had finished talking with Saul, and he's already slayed the giant, cut his head off. After David had finished talking with Saul, Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. From that day, Saul kept David with him and did not let him return home to his family. I said, positioning you in the right environment. And Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as himself. Jonathan took off the robe he was wearing, look at that, and gave it to David, along with his tunic and even his sword, his bow, and his belt. After you've had major accomplishments, milestones, brothers and sisters, sometimes it's easy to want to slack off a bit. Anybody just want to graduate and not do nothing else? Come on, let me get some real witnesses in here. I don't want to do nothing else. Graduation was enough. Look, just graduate, go to heaven. Anything else in between, y'all can have that. Yeah, sometimes no matter how good you did, you question your ability to even succeed at the next level. After all of that, you done got the perfect attendance award, academics were high. Can you imagine there are people out there that question their ability at the next level? And other times you just don't have the drive to go further and don't mind staying where you are just for a little bit. But can I tell you this? God wants you to win so bad, brothers and sisters. He'll allow your potential to take you to places you thought you'd never be, and put you in relationships with people that sow into you because they see in you what God has placed in you and seek to bless you to encourage you for the next level. Places that you thought you would never be. Here David is. He's in Saul's house. He's in the king's house. He has privilege, he has prestige, and he has possessions. Work in peace, pastors. He has privilege, he has prestige, and he has possessions. And all David did was use what he had to defeat Goliath, knowing that God was with him. That's all he did. He just did what he knew to do. God also has elevations for you, brothers and sisters. But there's also expectation of you. We don't want nobody to have an expectation of it. All of us want the next level, but ain't nobody. You know, in order to get up these steps to the next level, you actually got to pick one foot up from another. But everybody wants to be at the next level. All David did was do what he did. He didn't try to be someone else, do what someone else had done. But he used what he had in the faith that God had given him, and God placed him in a different position. Now you got to use what you have. It may not be college for you. I get it. All of us want our kids to go to college. It may not be college for you. I say use what you have. It may be the military for you. Some of you are going to go to trade school. Some of you are going to get certifications. See, I got to shout everybody out because nobody needs to feel bad because they're not doing what the other's doing. Because I'm telling you, God's going to place you in the right environment as long as you do what you do. Pastor, I'm just good at working with my hands. Well, you work at your hands and watch God put you in the right situation. Whatever it is that you do what you do and watch God position you in the right environment. Yeah, Pastor, I don't know what I want to do, but I know I'm real disciplined. Use that somewhere. I know I'm a good test taker. Get certified in something. You take the heck out of the test and watch God put you in a good environment. Some people are good, but they can't take tests well. You can take tests well, do what you make it do what it do. I'm just a good athlete. Use that. I'm just loyal. I got a good report upon everybody. All the teachers like me. Whatever you got. Watch God place you. Did I cover some of everybody in the right environment? God sees you. And he's touched the hearts of others to see you, to favor you, and to pull you into their environment just to help you win. Ooh, that's good right there. Not just for the kids, but for some adult in here that you just been using what you got, all you had, and you kept wondering when God was going to come and do what he's going to do. God has somebody that has his eye on you, and they're going to pull you into their environment just to help you win. They see you struggling. They see your success. They see that you graduated, but they say that if you're going to keep going, God's going to use me to help you keep going. Preach, Pastor Ian. It's for everybody in the room. And I have fun when I preach. Yeah. But not just the place, but God has people to help you to win. So he's not just in Saul's house, but it says Saul's son Jonathan, heir to the king, became one in spirit with David. He became bound in soul, chained together, almost like a soul tie, not sexual, but spiritual. A soul tie, if you will, a brotherhood, a divinely inspired that will be a blessing to David. Jonathan so saw who David was, he gave David his princely garments. as if to suggest that he sees David's worth, his kingship. He sees his destiny. Can't you see God using somebody to pour into your life? You walking around like a queen, don't quite feel like a queen, but you know there's a queen in you. Come on, you walking around like a king, don't always feel like a king, don't make king's money the way you need to, can't take care of your family the way you need to. But wouldn't it be nice if God sent someone to sow into your life and say, I see the king in you, I see the queen in you, I see the prince in you, I see the princess in you, I see the business owner in you. Oh, I'm gonna pay for your next 4 years of college. Pastor Edwards. Because God aligns you with some good people that become chained and bound in spirit with you. It ain't nothing sexual, it ain't nothing freaky. They ain't trying to get with you, they getting close to you because God said they got to be close to you. There's a sign that he's close to you and he's trying to get a blessing to you. Oh, God. Yeah, with the right, oh, I'm preaching hard, Jay. Oh, you sweat this much? Sending some people in your life. God so wants you to win. He has a Jonathan or a Jacqueline, whatever, you pick one, who's waiting for you.
Yeah, that's right.
You need to start walking on people like, are you Jackie? You John? No, my name's Charles. Well, you John today? Give me some. You don't know. You just knock on every door. Look. You go to the bank to cash a check. Are you John? Where Jackie is? She in the back? Get that blessing. Sometimes when your passion and your performance are low, watch this. You need the right people to help you keep your mind in check.
That's right.
Because you can graduate. This is good. And you can be on a good run, but sometimes your passion gets low.
So.
I want to do it and I don't. Sometimes your performance gets low. You don't need to tell nobody, oh, Pastor, you was a little off today. No, you need a Jonathan in your life to say, look, let me help you keep your mind right. Let me help to encourage you and keep you in the game. Somebody that can keep you elevated and keep you high at a level that's equal to what they see in you. Let me say that again. You need somebody in your life that can help you keep your emotions and your mind and you encourage you to where your that's equal to what they see inside of you. Yeah, that's why Moses and Aaron had to do the thing together. Yeah, that's why Paul and Silas could be in prison getting it in. You're like, okay. Well, how about Jordan and Pippen? Yeah, LeBron and Wade. Yeah, Clay and Steph. Peaches and Herb.
That's right. Cover everybody.
Salt and pepper.
Cover everybody.
You PMD? No, look. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Look. Y'all feel me though. Y'all get what I'm saying. You need somebody to help you. Look. And their only job, Jonathan ain't want nothing. Their only job, I'm going to work a few S's here, is to shield you, is to sow into you, is to show up for you, and to seek God for you, and to sustain you in a loving, compassionate relationship.
That's right.
And all you did was just do what you do.
That's right.
All they did was get this little 5 slows. Thank God for positioning you with the right people. And let me just say this. You know the good thing about these people in this season? These are people who's behind you don't have to kiss. Come on, preach, Pastor. These are people in your life where you no longer have to always be the giver. Because Jonathan came up with like, look, I got something for you, player. Look, I see what God is doing. For all y'all in the room that have always been the giver, someone's taking advantage of you, drained you, you halfway want to come to church to come out your house because you swear that every time you come out, somebody got their hand open looking for something for you. They never considered the fact that you could be going through. The only reason why you smile because you realize you're standing on the promises of God in this season because you stood on the promises of God. God's going to put a Jonathan and a Jacqueline in your life to sow it to you as a sign that God keeps his word in your life. Woo! Ooh, I felt that prophetically.
That's right.
Here it is as I move to my next point. They are assigned to you to help bring the winner out in you.
That's right.
That's why they're coming. They're assigned to you. The only reason they're assigned to you is to help bring the winner out in you.
That's right.
Yeah. God keeps me winning. Can I give you my second point? Second way God keeps you winning, brothers and sisters, is not just by positioning you in the right environment and places with people, but promoting you in your endeavors. Verse 5, whatever mission Saul sent him on, David was so successful that Saul gave him a high rank in the army. This pleased all the troops and Saul's officers as well, promoting you in your endeavors.
Amen.
Whether you realize it or not, life is nothing but seasons of graduation at various stages of your life, and each one requires your time and your effort. So let me just say this, now's not the time to stop. There's no, let me just chill. Because with your ability comes responsibility. With your ability comes responsibility. And for those that can agree with God to steward your gifts rightly, you'll see the hand of promotion in your life. With your ability comes responsibility. Look, it wasn't no, David, could you please come out and fight these wars? I know you're eating your chicken and your crab legs and stuff. David, would you mind just using your ability that God gave you, that you told me that God is the one that allowed you to defeat all that? Could you please come out and fight for us? No, David got in the house, and when Saul sent him out, was like, this is what I do. If we go into battle, I'm there. And winning is what I do too. So when I go out, expect me to come back with a W. The same God that promoted David beyond his brothers as he tended his father's sheep, who gave him victory over the lion and the bear, and victory over Goliath, has now allowed David to be promoted again as he utilized his abilities to be successful on the war missions that Saul sent him in. You know, he was successful after his obedience. But I'm tired, Pastor. I just graduated to this next level of my life. Is God telling you to do it? Don't look for success if you don't want to be obedient. All David did was what God had called him to do. Whatever your destiny is, whatever your purpose is, it's going to come with some pain. You're going to get tired. You're going to get weary. But God will give you promotion if you're obedient to the thing that he called you to do. And can I just say this, because it's in me, whatever he's called you to do, whatever your ability is, may not look like anyone else's in the room. That's right. I just give hugs. Yeah. That's all I do is give hugs. But let me tell you something. Them hugs you give that stopped a lot of people from committing suicide on this Sunday. Look, they were just waiting to feel a touch from God. They was waiting to feel like they had some real relationship. And when they saw these hands right here, and you gave them a hug, they went home from church and said, I will not blow my brains out. You don't know. Right. But whatever it is, look for the promotion after the obedience. Now, I know the sermon says God keeps you winning. But God has also given you the grace to work in your purpose. So you can't get a win without work. It's as you work or you're giving your best that you see God's promotions. I don't care if you're working at your grades, that job that you keep complaining about. Why are you going to complain about it, but you want a promotion? Now, somewhere in between your complaining and your promotion, you should have been giving your best. But because you complain so much, you stop giving your best and you want a promotion. God's like, if you just keep giving your best, I'll give you the promotion because I got somebody to look at you when you're giving your best. You can still complain, but at least give your best. Why you complain so I can give you the promotion?
Yeah, that's it.
He just gave me that on the spot. I can't write that. If God allowed you to beat Goliath after you put in some effort, whatever your Goliath is, anything smaller than your giant is nothing if you're willing to keep trying. Anything smaller than your giant, think of that huge thing that you've already beat. Yeah. It's small to you now if you keep trying. Come on. If God allowed you to beat your giant, that's it. And all you did was do what you do to beat your giant and have trust in him. That's it. Anything that's beneath your giant, if you keep trusting in him and doing what you do, that's it. Amen. Now let me say this, because God gave me this. But for those of us graduating today, your biggest giant may be beyond getting a diploma. We look at graduates, now obviously because I'm a pastor, I see all types of situations, man. When you see a child walk across the stage or an adult walk across the stage, you don't know how many giants they had to defeat behind them. Maybe the peer pressure to succumb to some type of gang or crew, you had to fight it the whole time just so you could walk across the stage. Just giants, the pressure to have sex and play all these games and stuff. You want to be pure and holy because you're raised in church. That's pressure. Those are giants you got to kill. Can you imagine? I walked across the stage as a high school student after 4 years and I never had sex with anyone. That was a giant for me. Because it ain't like it wasn't in my face. It ain't like my friends weren't on my back saying this. It ain't like I can't pull it up on my phone. We ain't had that coming up. Yeah. But it's giants. Some of your giants were not having supportive parents. People graduating school, flying colors, not even having enough food to eat in their house. Giants. Not having one or both of your parents around, just doing stuff. That's giants, and you made it to graduation. Yeah, having a learning disability. You try to hide it from people because you don't want nobody to know how bad it is. That's a giant, but you made it to graduation. Or going through school and life and never really having friends. God called us to be in a relationship. There's some of us sitting here, we're not even sure about the friends we call friends.
Yeah, that's right.
And you keep going to the next level, and while there are people around you, they're not really even for you. You're really there by yourself. Giants.
That's right.
That you kill. But whatever it is, brothers and sisters, you ought to be proud of yourself because you're here, because you pressed in the power of God. And I want to encourage you that God has more levels waiting for you if you continue to work hard.
Amen.
Yeah, God has more levels waiting for you if you continue to work hard. Can I give you my last point? God keeps you winning, lastly, brothers and sisters, by protecting you from evil. Verses 10 and 11. The next day, an evil spirit from God came forcefully on Saul. You mean Saul that brought David in the house? He was prophesying in his house while David was playing the lyre, as he usually did. Saul had a spear in his hand, and he hurled it, saying to himself, I'll pin David to the wall. Watch this. But David eluded him twice. How does God keep you winning? By protecting you from evil. I'll be done in a minute. Many of us are winning, brothers and sisters, because God has protected us from some stuff. And I'm not just talking about what you know and what you've seen. There's some stuff out there that you never even had to encounter. Because God protected you. See, I gotta let you know, when you thank God for protecting you, you think about the stuff that you saw and the stuff that you know about. But the shout is, there's some other stuff that the enemy had out to kill you. That God allowed to pass over you. And he's keeping you winning. He's protected you from a lot of stuff. Because he's using your wins as a testimony of his goodness and his power in your life. When I was in high school, senior year, a couple of the guys I played basketball with, I had a car, they didn't have a car. And I remember one time sitting in the classroom, they was like, man, you want to do some work with us? I was like, what is it? I wasn't a rowdy kid, but I did what I did. What they wanted me to do was help them rob. So since I had the car, they were like, the only thing that you have to do is you just have to be around the corner with the car, and then we'll rob, and then we'll come back out. Let me tell you, God was protecting me. Now, because I rolled with them and we played ball together, I could have easily been like, that sounds pretty easy. Like, I'll just go ahead and do it, and that'll be the end of it. I didn't do it. But let me tell you how I wouldn't even be standing here before you had it not been for God. Prom comes. We go to prom, these dudes roll up, I forget what kind of car they had. They had all these clothes that didn't look like clothes anybody else had on, like they must have got some money from somewhere. I'm from Oxon Hill Village, graduated from Crosses, so all of us looked how we looked, but one of them was rich. We were all struggling a little bit, wearing each other's brother's clothes, you know what I'm saying, all that type of stuff. But they were looking good at the prom. Come to find out, these two brothers robbed a man in the man's own backyard. a neighbor saw it from the window in their own neighborhood, had the man face down in his backyard and blew his brains out. One of the brothers was number 8 in the nation running back. I won't say the name, you can go back, number 8 in the nation running back. So they at the prom doing all this. Later on, they got found out because stupid, they swiping the daggone credit cards. They rented the car with the man's credit card. They buying stuff with the credit card, doing all this type of other stuff. Can I tell you that God wanted me to win so much, He protected me from evil?
Amen.
Look, I know it's God's protection because I didn't just say no because I got strong willpower. They talked to me about how much money I could make. I said no because I think God was prompting me and filling me and speaking to me and saying, look, and I ain't the only one in here. There's some youth and some adults in here. You ain't made no good decisions just because you got good morals, because you like keeping the law, you just like being a good guy and being a good gal. No, the Holy Spirit was touching you and speaking to you on the inside so you can make a good decision on the outside so God's protection can be on your life. Yeah. Every day your son and daughter come home and do the right thing that you don't know about. You say, thank you, God, for your protection. You don't know what they had to fight when they were in school. How many times they said, no, I ain't going to do it. I don't want to be about it.
Hallelujah.
It ain't because they ain't got pressure from the outside. It's because they got pressure. Might as well put that to scripture. Greater is He that is in me.
Hallelujah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Break this, y'all won't let me come in.
Yes, sir.
Brothers and sisters, you said break it off? Break it off. Just do it. You said that?
Right here.
Break it off. It's interesting that the same king that brought David in, and David didn't ask, is the same king that tried to kill him. After seeing his success, instead of realizing how much of an asset David was to the strength of the government and army, he sees him as a threat.
Yep.
But can I take it here? It's interesting that the same country, the government that brought African Americans over as slaves, and like David, we didn't ask. They just brought us over here as the same government that's trying to kill us. Preach, Pastor Edward.
Help us, Lord.
Trying to kill us. After seeing our success, what we've been able to build, our strength, our creativity, our intelligence, and will to overcome, instead of being seen as an asset, we're seen as a threat. And while many innocent lives have been taken, mishandled, and abused and dealt with unjustly through slavery, Jim Crow, the new Jim Crow, cop homicides and racist riots, black president still got the White House, served 2 terms. Still had many black representatives, congressmen and senators, black high-ranking military officials, officers, and enlisted CEOs, athletes, doctors, engineers, etc. We're still here and we're still winning because God is protecting us from evil. Ain't no different from David. God so wants you to win, brothers and sisters, that He'll protect you from evil. And let me tell you what I love about God. Some stuff you just get into that just happens. And some stuff you get yourself into.
That's right.
But God wants you to win so much, He'll still protect you
That's right.
from evil. So when you shout about God's protection, don't think about, oh, that just happened and God protected me from. Think about what you put yourself into, what decision you made. All of you graduates, look, you trying to move up the ladder, you trying to get far in life and do stuff, you're going to make deals with the devil. And even when you come out the ashes standing, you're going to have to say, the only reason I'm standing, the only reason I'm not the one in jail, the only reason I don't have AIDS, the only reason I didn't get fired, the only reason I still have this business is because God has been protecting me from evil. I just told you, He protects not only from the evil on the outside, He protected you from the evil in you. Oh, He wants you to win so bad, He won't let you get too bad for yourself. Good God.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. That's good.
Woo.
Amen.
Meditate on that one. But you know, we got proof. That great apostle Paul wrote 2/3 of our New Testament. And it sure won't because he was perfect. You can read Romans 7. He gonna talk about what he goes through. But God protected him from himself so we can have it. Thus saith the Lord.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
Oh God. God's protecting you, brothers and sisters. And he does it for us so that, like David, we can have great success. So our mantra can be, God just keeps me winning.
Amen.
Graduates, you've made it. For those of you that have graduated at some level of your life for something,
Yeah.
you've made it. But recognize that God is the reason.
Amen.
And he's going to continue to position you in the right environment. He's going to promote you in your endeavors. And he's going to protect you from evil. As you keep him as your lasting foundation. It's only because of God that you keep winning. God bless you. I'm done.